mulai ngetes apakah salam saya bisa terdengar bagi seluruh peserta Zoom atau tidak. Saya ulangi sekali lagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih. Selamat menikmati.
Selamat datang untuk semua peserta yang sudah standby di Zoom. Dalam waktu 5 menit lagi kita akan memulai sesi Zoom kita. Pembicara-pembicara untuk Iceat akan mulai di jam 9, jadi kita akan mulai dengan beberapa sambutan dari tamu undangan. Mohon tetap ditunggu dan mohon tetap standby. Terima kasih sebelumnya. Agak kecil ya ini ya? Iya ya, iya ya. Tes, oh ya. Ini.
Assalamualaikum Pak Darman. Apa kabar, sehat Pak Darman?
Waalaikumsalam, alhamdulillah sehat.
Semalam nggak tampak Pak Darman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Waalaikumsalam.
And good morning to you all. The Honorable Mr. Nadiem Anwar Makarim, BA, MBA, Minister of Education and Culture of Indonesia, and which will be represented by General Director of Higher Education, Minister of Education and Culture, Professor Insinyur Nizam, MSc, DIC, PhD. Haji Ganjar Pranowo, SHMIP, Governor of Central Java, and which will be represented by Dr. Randa Penny Rahayu, MSc, Assistant of Economic and Development, Secretary of Central Java. Professor Ismail Rakib Karas from Karabuk University, Turkey, Professor Morten Holm van Dok, Sector Counselor, Embassy of Denmark, Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali, University Malaysia Pahang, Malaysia, Profesor Kun Harisma, MSc, PhD, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, Dr. Suliswiyadi MAG, Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang, Insinyur Teguh Mahendi, ST, MT, ASEAN, and IPM, the Chair of AST PTM.
Thanks to Allah for rahmat, nikmat, and bless to us all. And salawat and salam only for Nabi Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Welcome to the 4th International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology, Iceat 2020. Now let's open our program today by saying Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, firstly, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Nia Kurniati Bahtiar and Tusi Ari Purnomo. We will be the master of ceremony for today's event. So we are going to start our today's event by Quran reciting for Surah Ar-Rafi. The time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قيل لكم تفسحوا في المجالس فافسحوا يفسح الله لكم وإذا قيل انشزوا فانشزوا يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات والله بما تعملون خبير. Sadaqallahul azim. Aku berlindung kepada Allah dari godaan syaitan yang terkutuk dengan menyebut nama Allah yang Maha Pengasih lagi Maha Penyayang. Wahai orang-orang yang beriman, apabila dikatakan kepadamu, berilah kelapangan di dalam majlis-majlis, maka lapangkanlah. Niscaya Allah akan memberi kelapangan untukmu. Dan apabila dikatakan berdirilah kamu, maka berdirilah. Niscaya Allah akan mengangkat derajat orang-orang yang beriman di antara kamu dan orang-orang yang berilmu beberapa derajat. Dan Allah Maha mengetahui terhadap apa yang kamu kerjakan. Maha benar Allah dengan segala firman-Nya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The Indonesian anthem Indonesia Raya and Sang Surya. All audience, would you please stand up? Would you please sit down? Thank you.
Next will be report from the Chief of IST Pkmm, Insinyur Teguh Mahendi, STMT ASEAN Eng IPM. The time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin wa binasta'inu ala umuri dunya waddin. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh la nabiyya ba'da. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa barik wa salim. The Honorable the Minister of Education and Culture Republik Indonesia, Mr. Nadiem Anwar Makarim, the General Director Higher Education, Profesor Nizam, selamat datang Prof, terima kasih sudah bergabung. The Governor of Central Java, Mr. Ganjar Pranowo, Ibu Mrs. Penny Rahayu, Assistant Economic and Development. Matur nuwun Bu, berkenan hadir dan mohon nanti bisa membuka acara. Our greatest keynote speakers, Professor Ismail Rakib from Turkey, Professor Morten Holm van Dong from Denmark, Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali from University Malaysia Pahang of Malaysia. I hope you are doing well. And Profesor Kun Harismah, PhD from UMS. Sugeng rawuh Ibu, terima kasih. The Rector of University of Magelang, Dr. Sulistiati. Terima kasih Pak Rektor, 2 hari bergabung bersama kami. And to the Board of Science and Technology Association, Muhammad Higher Education. Number 1, Mr. Yun Arifal, General Sekretari. Terima kasih Bu, sudah berjuang keras menyiapkan acara ini. And then Mr. Sunardi, the Treasurer, Bendara. And Mr. Aman and Mr. Eko, the Advisor. And distinguished participants, the invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the National Coordination Meeting for Science and Technology Association, Muhammadiyah Higher Education 2020. I hope we are in a good health and blessed. First of all, let's thank for Allah SWT for His mercy, so that we can meet directly and also virtually in this very good occasion. Salawat and salam be addressed to our Prophet Rasulullah SAW, who light our way and guide us to the right path. Then I would like to say thanks to the Minister of Education and Culture Republik Indonesia, the General Director Education, Higher Education, the Governor of Central Java, as well as the Rector of Unimma for being with us. And we would like to hear the speech and motivation word after this from Mr. Ganjar Pranowo or Ibu Penny Rahayu and Dr. Sulistiati, and also the officially open the National Coordination Meeting for Science and Technology Association, Muhammadiyah Higher Education 2020. We report this agenda is intended to strengthen the collaboration between all members of Engineering Faculty, Engineering and Science Faculty, and then Muhammadiyah Higher Education. So this agenda Al-Dadin Forum, the International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology, Iceat, Seminar Nasional Teknologi Terapan, SNTT, Program Kreativitas Mahasiswa Muhammadiyah, Pkmm, that I'll start today, 26 October to 28 October 2020. And so the agenda is attended by the Dean and the participants of the conference. We also would like to express our great gratitude to the keynote speakers and the presenter who are really passionate to make paper and send to us, to present it and to follow the agenda signed day one directly and through only media. Last but definitely not least, I wish you a most fruitful day with interesting and stimulating discussion and exchange of knowledge so that we can together envisage the future of an innovative and universities, especially for Muhammadiyah Higher Education. So thank you so much once again. Enjoy today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Welcome address from Rector of Muhammadiyah University of Magelang for Dr. Suliswiadi MAG. The time is yours. Would you please?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa dinil haq liyudhhirahu 'ala dini kullih wa kafa billahi syahida. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu la nabiyya ba'dah. Allahumma shalli wa sallim ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain, amma ba'du. The Honorable Governor Province of Central Java, represented by Dr. Anda Penny Rahayu, Assistant Economic and Development, Minister Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, represented by Professor Nizam, PhD, Director of the Directorate General of Higher Education, Minister of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia. Yun Arifatul Fatimah, PhD, Dean of Engineering Faculty, Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang, Chief of AST Pkmm, Insinyur Teguh Mahendri, STMT. The speakers, Professor Ismail Rakib Karas from Karabuk University, Turkey, Prof. Morten Hom van Dong, Sector Counselor, Embassy of Denmark, Professor Kun Harismah, MSI, PhD, from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, Profesor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali from University Malaysia Pahang, Malaysia. Greeting to all of us. Welcome to Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang, Unimma. First of all, let us praise and thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Almighty God, for His grace. We are all in good health so that we can attend the 4th International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology, Iceat 2020. This activity held on the forum of a blended learning conference in which some participants attend offline and some online. The activities of the 4th International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology 2020, which should be held on June 29-30, 2020 in Magelang, coinciding with the 48th Muhammadiyah Congress in Solo. However, due to the COVID-19 outbreak that occurred in Indonesia in early March 2020, Iceat activities were delayed. For participants, the 4th International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology 2020 was finally held on 26-27 October 2020 in Magelang, Indonesia. This conference was organized by the University Muhammadiyah Magelang and Asosiasi Sains dan Teknologi Perguruan Tinggi Muhammadiyah (AST-PTM). This conference aims to discuss various issues, development and innovation in advanced research in the field of engineering and applied technology, as well as providing an attractive forum for engineering scientists to share knowledge and expertise in related issues. In line with the vision of the Muhammadiyah University Magelang to become an excellent and Islamic university in the development of science and technology based on Islamic value for the benefit of the Ummah. And Muhammadiyah's missions to organize quality and relevant education, research, and community service in providing solutions for the development of Indonesian society. To achieve that, Unimma made a strategic step with effort to improve the culture and quality of research, entrepreneurial spirit, innovation, and community service to support national independence and provide solutions to national and global problems. To and strengthen collaboration and partnership in education, research, and community services in a dynamic academic climate without boundaries. This is the reason Unimma is actively involved in AST-PTM. AST-PTM is an association of technical personnel who are members of the Muhammadiyah Higher Education Science and Technology Association, intended to advance the engineering of science faculty of Muhammadiyah University with various activities, including Dean Forums, Study Program Forum, Iceat, Sntt, Seminar Nasional Teknologi Terapan, Pkmm, Program Kreativitas Mahasiswa Muhammadiyah, and Products Exhibition. The program is packaged in a national coordination meeting, Rakornas, every year, and a national conference, Munas, Musyawarah Nasional, every 4 years. As the rector of Unimma and the host of AST-PTM 2020, we wish you a happy activity. Hopefully, you will produce the best works in engineering for the progress of the nation and state. From Muhammadiyah for the nation. Thus, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Sulis, for the great time. Now we jump to the welcome speech by the Governor of Central Java, which is represented by Dr. Anda Penny Rahayu, MSc, Assistant of Economic and Development, Secretary of Central Java. The time is yours, ma'am.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita. Pertama-tama kami sampaikan permohonan maaf Bapak Gubernur Jawa Tengah. Pagi ini beliau ada acara yang tidak bisa ditinggalkan sehingga tadi pagi menugaskan kami untuk mewakili beliau. Baik, kami akan bacakan secara utuh sambutan Gubernur Jawa Tengah pada acara International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology dengan tema Resources Based Sustainable Engineering Science and Technology. Yang saya hormati Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang, para narasumber, panitia, dan peserta konferensi, puji syukur kehadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa. Alhamdulillah pagi hari ini kita masih diberikan nikmat sehat dan nikmat kesempatan sehingga dapat bersama-sama hadir bersilaturahmi dan berdiskusi dalam forum International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology dengan tema Resources Based Sustainable Engineering. Saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada para peserta konferensi atas waktunya menjadi bagian dari acara show meeting ini sehingga nanti kita bisa sharing berbagai hal terkait dengan pengembangan riset di bidang rekayasa teknik dan iptek yang berbasis efisiensi sumber daya alam di era revolusi industri 4.0. Silakan nanti didiskusikan sebagaimana kita mengoptimalkan internet, kemudian juga big data yang ada untuk pengelolaan teknik, iptek, keberlanjutan berbasis sumber daya, bagaimana arah baru penelitian dan pengembangan dalam era pandemi COVID yang saat ini. Hadirin yang berbahagia, tantangan kita saat ini adalah era revolusi industri 4.0. Maka semua komponen bangsa harus siap, tak terkecuali kampus. Di era ini semua serba otomatis dan online, sehingga membutuhkan penguasaan terhadap teknologi. Pada era ini banyak muncul bidang pekerjaan baru, tapi tak sedikit juga job-job yang harus tersingkir. Siapa yang tidak siap akan semakin tertinggal. Maka mahasiswa harus cepat menyiapkan diri untuk menguasai teknologi. Dan kita sadari bahwa modal utama dari kita menghadapi revolusi industri 4.0 adalah meningkatkan daya saing melalui perbaikan kualitas sumber daya manusia. Kampus kita harapkan tidak hanya mampu melahirkan SDM yang mempunyai karakter, moral, dan punya pengetahuan saja, tetapi juga berkualitas secara keilmuan dan keterampilan lainnya yang dapat digunakan sebagai modal kecakapan hidup. Di era revolusi industri 4.0 ini, mahasiswa harus memiliki skill yang mumpuni dan keterampilan dalam melihat peluang bisnis yang saat ini ada. Potensi pasar Indonesia yang sangat besar diiringi laju pertumbuhan ekonomi yang pesat serta menjamurnya startup bisnis dari kalangan muda harus direspon dengan sigap oleh kalangan mahasiswa. Mahasiswa zaman now tidak cukup hanya berbekal ilmu pengetahuan, lebih dari itu, para milenial harus bisa menyentuh dan sukses pada wilayah entrepreneur. Maka saya mendukung sekali acara-acara seperti ini yang saya rasa sedang match terhadap kebutuhan SDM kita saat ini. Monggo sareng-sareng digagas, disaring, apa yang disampaikan oleh para narasumber. Semoga selain sebagai ajang silaturahmi, Dekan Fakultas Teknik Perguruan Tinggi Muhammadiyah se-Indonesia, forum ini nantinya dapat turut membantu mengembangkan sains dan teknologi melalui sharing knowledge, diskusi dosen, dan kompetisi mahasiswa dalam rangka untuk menguatkan kerjasama dan keterlibatan institusi perguruan tinggi Muhammadiyah, baik secara di tingkat nasional maupun internasional, serta meningkatkan peran aktif Asosiasi Sains dan Teknologi Perguruan Tinggi Muhammadiyah dalam penguatan kompetensi SDM, dosen, mahasiswa, sivitas akademika, perguruan tinggi di Indonesia. Hadirin yang berbahagia, demikian yang dapat saya sampaikan pada kesempatan yang sangat baik ini. Selanjutnya, saya awali dengan ucapan Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. International Conference of Engineering and Applied Technology dengan tema Resources Based Sustainable Engineering, Science and Technology saya nyatakan dimulai. Sukses, semoga bermanfaat bagi kita semua dan khususnya masyarakat yang ada di Indonesia. Sekian dan terima kasih atas perhatiannya Gubernur Jawa Tengah H. Ganjar Pranowo SH MIP ditandatangani. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, terutama Bapak Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang, Kami atas nama pemerintah Provinsi Jawa Tengah, kami sekali lagi menyampaikan selamat dan mohon maaf Bapak Gubernur tidak bisa hadir secara langsung dan kami mohon maaf apabila dalam membacakan sambutan beliau ada kesalahan dan kekurangannya. Sekian, terima kasih. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This next 3 hours would be the time for speakers. It will be started by the keynote speaker, Nadiem Anwar Makarim, BA, MBA, Minister of Education and Culture of Indonesia, which today will be presented by General Director of Higher Education, Ministry of Education and Culture Republik Indonesia, Profesor Insinyur Nizam, MSc, DIC, PhD.
Okay, while waiting for our time to start the conference, as Bapak Tusi already mentioned, there will be 1 keynote speakers and 4 other speakers. And then, as a recap for yesterday's event, so actually we have already held our Pekan Kreativitas Mahasiswa. It's like an event when all the students actually got competition together. There are like 9 kind of competition already held. And don't forget, tonight, this day, there will be the announcement for the winner for all the PKM. And also, we have already held our national seminar for the Seminar Nasional Teknologi Terapan 2020. And then, before we start our next event, our main event for today, which is International Conference of Applied Science and Technology. So there will be like small video and short video for you to join. Please enjoy the video first.
Welcome to Iceat 2020. While waiting for Professor Nizam join our Zoom, I remind you, beside Professor Nizam, there will be 4 speakers. The first one is Professor Ismail Rakib Karas from Karabut University, Turkey. And then the second one is Professor Morten Holm van Dong, Sector Counselor from Embassy of Denmark. And then Professor Kun Harismah MSc PhD from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. And the last one, there will be Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali from University Malaysia Pahang.
For the ICES event for today, the time will be from 9 a.m. now until 12 a.m. There will be 30 minutes for each speakers. And for all the participants, if you want to ask questions, you can raise your hands or you can write it in the chat. So, and then we can forward it to the speakers later on. So because the Denmark time and Indonesia times are quite different, so our speakers from Denmark will only share their video recording. But for all the speakers, there will be like live Zoom with us together in the same room.
I remind you also, from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. there will be parallel session. There are 2 parallel session, Iceat parallel session and also an SNTT parallel session, which is followed by forum diskusi ilmiah Dekan Teknik PTM.
And then don't forget, for all the students, today will be the announcement from all 9 event competition already held before. There are software applications competition, and then anti-disaster minimalist home, programming, smart home, IoT hackathon, and then SMEs, and also the last one and important as well, business plan. So don't go anywhere, everyone, because until 8 p.m. there will be a lot of event and activity happen in this Zoom room.
And still waiting for the connection to Professor Nizam, we get back to the video.
Fakultas Teknik Muhammadiyah Magelang didirikan pada tahun akademik 1982-1983 dengan mengemban visi menjadi fakultas teknik yang unggul dalam bidang ekoteknologi dan information technology berdasarkan pada Islamic value dan mampu bersaing di tingkat Asia Tenggara. Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang mengembangkan kompetensi mahasiswa melalui sistem pendidikan yang mengacu pada ASEAN Qualification Reference Framework, International Qualification Framework, dengan melaksanakan sistem penjaminan mutu akademik dan administrasi di lingkungan fakultas. Fakultas juga mengembangkan penelitian dan menyebarluaskan ilmu pengetahuan pada bidang ekoteknologi dan information technology yang diakui dan dikenal di tingkat nasional, regional, dan internasional. Fakultas Teknik juga melaksanakan pengabdian kepada masyarakat melalui difusi produk akademik, serta membudayakan perilaku Islami kepada sivitas akademika Fakultas Teknik untuk mendukung tercapainya tujuan persyarikatan Muhammadiyah. Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang berkomitmen untuk menghasilkan lulusan yang unggul serta berorientasi pada kebutuhan stakeholder dan perkembangan ilmu pengetahuan dan teknologi dengan melaksanakan catur dharma perguruan tinggi yang disertai pengembangan nilai-nilai Islam dan kemuhammadiyahan sehingga menjadi nilai tambah selain melaksanakan pendidikan, penelitian, dan pengabdian kepada masyarakat. Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang menaungi 4 program studi, yakni S1 Teknik Industri, dan D3 Teknik Informatika, serta D3 Mesin Otomotif.
Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang berkomitmen untuk memajukan program studi S1 Teknik Industri, S1 Teknik Informatika, D3 Teknik Otomotif, dan D3 Teknik Informatika melalui 1. Perbaikan pembelajaran dengan mengacu pada kurikulum berbasis kompetensi dan mengacu pada standar nasional pendidikan tinggi. Yang kedua, komitmen Fakultas Teknik adalah peningkatan kuantitas dan kualitas dosen pengajar melalui studi lanjut dosen di dalam negeri dan di luar negeri. Komitmen yang ketiga adalah peningkatan kualitas publikasi, penelitian, dan pengabdian masyarakat melalui pendanaan penelitian unggulan perguruan tinggi, Insinas, BRPI, dan hibah internasional. Komitmen Fakultas Teknik yang keempat adalah penguatan kerjasama dalam lingkup nasional dan internasional untuk mensupport proses pembelajaran penelitian pengabdian masyarakat. Dan komitmen yang terakhir adalah peningkatan keterlibatan dosen dan mahasiswa dalam kegiatan persyarikatan Muhammadiyah.
Untuk mendukung proses belajar mengajar di Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang dilengkapi beberapa fasilitas. Ruang-ruang kuliah yang kondusif, laboratorium yang memadai, anjungan internet dengan koneksi yang cepat, hotspot area, masjid, perpustakaan, komunitas peminatan mahasiswa.
Selain itu, penjaminan mutu di lingkungan Fakultas Teknik berorientasi pada terpuaskannya stakeholder internal dan stakeholder eksternal melalui siklus penjaminan mutu, perencanaan, pelaksanaan, evaluasi, pengendalian, dan peningkatan mutu program studi yang dilakukan oleh dekan, ketua program studi, tenaga pendidik, Fakultas Teknik bekerjasama dengan gugus kendali mutu fakultas yang memiliki garis koordinasi dengan Badan Penjaminan Mutu Universitas. Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang berkomitmen untuk memajukan program studi S1 Teknik Industri, S1 Teknik Informatika, D3 Teknik Otomotif, dan D3 Teknik Informatika melalui perbaikan pembelajaran dengan mengacu pada kurikulum berbasis kompetensi dan mengacu pada standar nasional pendidikan tinggi. Selain itu, Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang juga berkomitmen untuk meningkatkan kuantitas dan kualitas dosen pengajar melalui studi lanjut dosen di dalam negeri dan di luar negeri.
Bersama Fakultas Teknik Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang, unggul dan islami.
Still waiting connection to Professor Nizam. Still reminds you that in 7 p.m. there will be a closing ceremony of Rakornas and also the announcement of the winner from Iceat, Sntt, Pkmm, Pkmm. And I also reminds you that tomorrow morning from 8 to 11 o'clock there will be evaluation meeting of Rakornas AST 2020.
As we can see here, there are like 99 participants already join us in the Zoom room. One more participant and we reach 100. And then for everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. I can see there are like from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, and then Malang, Sorong, Uhamka, from Cirebon, Jakarta, and also Surabaya, and the other participant that we cannot mention one by one. And then I would really interested to contact from Sorong, our Indonesia bagian barat or western of Indonesia. Are you with us, sir? Can you mute yourself maybe? Because we are in Jakarta in the Magelang time, I'm so sorry, Magelang time there 9 a.m. It means in Sorong like 11 a.m. Are you okay in Sorong? How are you, sir? And also a part of that, we've got like Surabaya, Malang, and Uhamka. It's the same time in Indonesia, and our presenter also for the 4 presenter today already joined us in the different timeline as well. Thank you so much for everyone who have joined in International Conference of Engineering and Applied Technology. And we are so sorry because we are still waiting for Professor Nizam to join us. So maybe we can have a little chit chat together. So maybe if anybody from all of the participants want to say greeting or hello for everyone, you can also mute yourself.
Still waiting for the connection to Professor Nizam. Let me tell you that there will be announcement of the best paper for the program of Iceat and also SNTT will be announced around 9:20 to 20 or 7:20 to 8 p.m. this evening.
And then for everyone, I saw the participants keep adding now today in the Zoom room. Thank you so much for joining us for IC Engineering EAT for today. So there will be 4 presenters, and everyone, I remind you once again, if you have questions, please do raise your hands, or you can write it in the chat and then we can forward it to the speakers, except maybe for the Chancellor of Denmark, Professor Morten Holm van Dok. So because this is video recording, maybe we can't ask the question directly, but we can keep it for you.
Okay, still waiting the connection to Professor Nizam. Now get back to the video.
Once again, thank you very much for your patience. So we are going to play you another video, which we hope it suit you well. Okay, once again, we say thank you so much for all the participants, also for the speakers. We see all the speakers has already joined us. So before we start our conference for today, I would like to have a little chat with our beautiful Ibu Yun Arifatul Fatima. How are you, Ibu Yun?
Hi, Ibu Yun. Okay, can you share us a little bit about what actually happened today, and what do you think will be achieved for all the participants for today?
Okay, so thank you very much. Actually, this is my great honor to speak here, and thank you also for all participants who has already attended this conference. And this is also thank you to all co-hosts from Sorong, from Jakarta, and also from Cilengsi. I would like to say hello to all of you. Thank you very much to support me. Jakarta and also Sorong is actually a really great honor to become a host of this great event actually, and we are still waiting Prof. Nizam, and this association actually is Dean Forum, which has a lot of objective actually, and then this is also a nice event. And I think that also I see from all participants come from Palangkaraya, Bhutan, Mr. Islam, the Dean of Engineering Faculty from Bhutan, from Mataram also, and I think that some other from Banjarmasin, Cirebon. Hello everyone. Yes, and also from, I think, yes, this is good. It's from Surabaya Metro and other participant, lecturer, researcher also. And thank you very much to all participants here, offline participant from Malang, Pak Mubin, and the Dean of Engineering from University of Muhammadiyah Malang, and also Pak Eko from Gresik, University Muhammadiyah of Gresik, and also from University Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. They come here online, but still under COVID procedure. And from University of Ahmad Dahlan, there are two engineering dean come to Magelang. Thank you very much. Mr. Sunardi. So he is actually Dean of Engineering Faculty from University Ahmad Dahlan, and also Pak Imam Ashari. Yes, from also he is Pak Darman. I can see you. Hello, Mr. Our senior. Hope Allah always bless you, Pak Darman, and also Pak Firmansah. Thank you for supporting me, for supporting us. And Buhaf Nidar from Aceh. Yes.
And Ibu Yun, we actually quite interested to know, because yesterday there was like a Rakornas or coordination meeting. Is there any like policy that already shaped yesterday that you can share to another participant?
Yeah, actually last night we have a very good meeting, and offline and online. And some of the result from the meeting, they are first is we try to focus on the Merdeka campus and campus belajar Merdeka, and also we try to enhance our research and education, also the collaboration nationally, also internationally. We hope that we can improve our collaboration with among the University of Muhammadiyah Magelang, and also with other university, of course with the government university, and also with the international university, because we have some agenda that we need to be postponed because of this COVID. But I hope in the next year we can follow up, we can deliver some program which have a benefit, especially for our university, for Muhammadiyah University, but also for other university, especially in higher education. Yes.
Okay. Buyun, it seems that the connection to Professor Nizam is connected.
Great.
So we
Alhamdulillah.
goes to Professor Nizam. Your time is around 30 minutes, Professor Nizam. Would you please, the time is yours right now.
So perhaps Professor Nizam already with us. How are you, sir? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sir.
Professor Nizam, you can hear my voice?
Professor Nizam is actually quite busy today because he attended another meeting before this meeting. So we have to wait him to finish, and then he already joined us now. So Professor, how are you, sir?
Assalamualaikum everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Pagi,
wabarakatuh. It's so glad to finally see you,
Mohon
sir.
maaf, pagi ini saya punya 4 vicon. Agendanya numpuk semua ternyata bersamaan dan beberapa tidak masuk dalam agenda saya. So sorry for waiting.
No problem, sir. You have like 30 minutes to start your speech, sir.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to all of you. Alhamdulillah, we meet in this video conference, in this webinar on good health, something that we have to be very thankful to God Almighty. Please allow me to share screen.
Okay, 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, I would like to share with you, although our discussion is about the research, but I would like to share with you some issues that take place during the post-pandemic. So after the COVID-19 pandemic, we see that university doesn't stop doing education, research, and public services. This is something that we are very glad to see and glad to know, like what we have today. Even though we are in the situation of pandemic, but scientific activities in universities even mushrooming rather than stopping or rather than decreasing. More and more seminars, both national and international level, has been conducted in the past 5 months after the pandemic. Like today, I have more than 5 conferences, international and national conferences with many universities almost at the same time. This indicates that the response of university in coping with the pandemic doesn't mean that university become less productive and less active than in the normal situation. So I would like to share with you what happens in the past 5 months from the issuance of ministerial decree on the 9th of March 2020. That's 1 week after the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in Indonesia by our president. So 1 week after that, the ministry instruct every university, schools to study from home, work from home, and do and keep healthy habit. And we also mobilize our faculty of medicine and also health faculties and also academic universities, academic hospitals in our universities to prepare for COVID-19. So within 1 month, our universities, especially the Faculty of Medicine, already able to take on average more than 8,000 COVID-19 tests per day. So that's more than half of the national capacity in April. So that was mobilized within a very short period of time. We also prepare our academic hospitals to become the hospitals for COVID-19. and many has become the patient centers for COVID-19, like UNER Surabaya has become the largest COVID-19 hospitals in Indonesia for during this pandemic. We also prepare 18,000 beds in our training centers for isolations, for self-isolations of patients with mild symptoms. We also mobilize students to voluntarily promote health and to help with the national efforts to mitigate the COVID-19. More than 15,000 students join these activities. We also mobilize and promote our campuses to refocus the research toward applied research that can help with the COVID-19 mitigations. So those like development of immune booster, medical equipments, and many research related to mitigating COVID-19. We also reallocate quite a huge budget in the Ministry of Education and Culture, almost ₹500 billion, refocused to help with the COVID mitigations, to strengthen the Faculty of Medicine as well as the academic hospitals and applied research conducted by our universities. We know that COVID also affect heavily to economy. So in addition to health, economy is another aspect that we need to mitigate, and we reallocate our social support budget, about ₹1 trillion to support for more than 400,000 students for their tuitions. So to help with the student tuitions. And also in this term, we help to provide free internet access to all our students. More than 8 million students and lecturers in universities, and more than 60 million students in elementary to high schools. And this all get free access to internet connections for educations. To make sure that there's no loss in educations or minimal loss in educations during this pandemic. The university role during the pandemic through Tri Dharma Perguruan Tinggi, or three main missions of university: education, research, and community services, still going on, although we are facing the unfortunate situations of this pandemic. For the educations, we move classroom into online classroom, virtual classroom. Laboratory works move into virtual laboratory, and we also doing many educations through collaborative learning between universities to do student projects and joint research between university students. And research, as I mentioned earlier, there are quite a number of research during this pandemic situations. We compile more than 1,000 research and innovation and invention came out from universities in the past 5 months, mostly to help with the pandemic. And also the community services still very actively conducted by our universities. So beyond online, our education is still thriving, like in terms of student services, public services, community services by students. As I mentioned earlier, more than 15,000 students from medical faculties, nursing, public health, pharmacy, psychology, help with the National Center for Pandemic Mitigations. And this still going on up till now. And all those activities, because this also relate to student competencies, can be transferred into their credit. So it's part of the education, it's part of the credit that they can earn. For university students, perhaps online learning is not a big problem, but for elementary schools, in village, in remote places, this is a big problem. Not only because of the connection, but also because many of the teachers not ready with the online learning. So we conducted programs, Kampus Mengajar, it means the university students helps teachers to teach students in their neighborhoods, because most of students now stay in their home doing online learning. So their spare time, they can voluntarily help teachers in the local government, in the local village, to make sure that teaching for our kids still can be delivered well. So more than 10,000 students join these activities till now. And also student exchange through program Permata Sakti, the Pertukaran Mahasiswa Nusantara, that's national student exchange, that regularly we conducted these activities by exchange students from one province to the other. But due to pandemic, we modify this student exchange through online student exchange program. So students can take courses from other universities online to enrich their experience, and also to have new friends and to collaborate with local students. So this has been going on from the beginning of this current semesters. These are activities of our students in mitigating COVID-19, both in applied research as well as in community services. They develop like face shields, mask, APD, or what do you call it? Medical ropes, and also many devices, medical devices that can be used to help mitigate the pandemic. They produce like hand sanitizer, disinfectants, and distribute them into the society, into the community, to help with hospitals and many other needs in the public services. So they also conducted research with the, of course, with the lecturer, with the professors, and many research, more than 1,600 invention innovations came out from universities in the past 5 months, from simple equipments into complex and novel devices like UV sterilization box, rapid test, the RT lamp test, and then robot for helping with the patients of the COVID-19, smart swab chamber, and also ventilators. More than 10 ventilators came out from universities, not only as a prototype, but many of them already goes into product with collaborations with the industry. So this is something that we are very, that make us very optimistic that if university given the opportunity, they can do research, real applied research that can go direct into the industry. So this resulted from these pandemic situations, came creativity and productivity of universities, and many in collaboration with the industry. This is something that we have to strengthen further to the future. This is another device, the portable negative chamber. This is another invention, the electronic nose. This is the first in the world for COVID-19 detections. The accuracy is already at par with other means of detections. So this is only based on the breathe from a patient or from anyone, if he or she is positive or negative, the chinos can tell. And this is started to go into, it's already in the clinical trial and now prepare for the industry, for the productions. Other activities, the thematic KKN is kuliah kerja nyata or social service from students as part of their training, as part of the development of their hard skills and soft skills. Thematic with the need to mitigate COVID-19. Currently, more than 10,000 students are joining this thematic KKN by many of the universities. The program Kampus Mengajar, campus teaching students. This is also a very needed in the remote places in village where internet connection is still a problem. So in the first batch, more than 5,000 students joining this Kampus Mengajar, and currently around the same number is joining the Mengajar dari Rumah and Kampus Mengajar Perintis. If this is successful, then we will scale this up into 10 times that number in the 2021. We also send our students to help with the promoting healthy habits, mengubah perilaku, because to mitigate COVID-19, it is not vaccine that need to be in place, not only the test of COVID-19 to be in place, but the most important is to change the habit, to change the behavior of the community. So it's about the cultural change, and we set a program with the PNPP, the National Center for COVID-19 Mitigations, and we send our students to promote the healthy habit and the new cultures in the new normal. We also prepare for 2021 for Kampus Merdeka for food security and economic recovery. So this is a very important aspect, but we also have to underline that this program not only about education, but also embedded in it is research, applied research, like for instance, the cultural change. At the same time, students not only promote cultural change, but at the same time, they can do research, applied research on culture, on behavior, on social, on economy, as well as on psychology, and many other aspects of daily activities. So this is like social transformations, which is a very interesting topic of research, and collaborations of thousands of students with lecturers as their supervisor, their mentors. This can be a very excellent research, grounded research that can become the output and outcome of the activities. So the lesson that we can learn from this, we see that the adaptations from this COVID-19 is very rapid. Within 1 month, all our universities, all 8 million students already go online, although without any proper preparations. We have promoted the use of technology since the early 2000s. Very few universities use blended learning as modalities of teaching, as modalities of research, but now all of a sudden everyone goes online. And we see that the productivity of university is not less productive than in the normal time. They are even more productive, both in applied research as well as in publications. In our monitoring system, the publications of our professors, lecturers, is more than in the normal situations. The creative energy coming out from this pandemic need to be maintained and to be improved further, and especially the spirit of we can, that if we are given the opportunity, given the trust, we can do things beyond expectations. More than 1,000 inventions and innovations come out from universities in the past 5 years. The spirit of gotong royong, spirit of working hand in hand is very strong and need to be maintained further in the futures. So this is my little share in this seminar. I hope these seminars can fosters collaborations between universities, between academia, within Indonesia, as well as with partners globally. So rather than cursing the darkness, it's better to light a candle. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Professor Nizam, for your presentation and also your time. And the next speaker, the first speaker would be Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali from University Malaysia, Pahang, with the topic of deep learning of drone image in agriculture. So, Professor Kamarul Hawarin, are you ready?
Assalamualaikum everyone. Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear my voice?
Okay. Yes, of course.
Hello from Malaysia. Thank you very much to the Master of Ceremony. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let me share my slide presentation for today's conference or keynote speaker. My topics for the keynotes today is deep learning of drone image in agriculture application. But before that, I would like to thanks to the organizer because inviting me to be one of the keynote speaker for today's conference. My topics today is about the agriculture application. Maybe less related to the COVID, but when we talk about agriculture during this pandemic COVID-19, especially food security is become very important to all countries in the world. So I think this is the time for us to start look at the agriculture sector to implement research, especially to implement precision farming so that the production of crop can be produced up to the maximum capacity. My name is Kamarul Hawari Ghazali. I'm from University Malaysia Pahang, one of the public university in Malaysia. We have 22 public university, and University Malaysia Pahang is one of the young public universities compared to the other public universities like University of Technology Malaysia, National University of Malaysia, and so on. Before we go to the details, I would like to share with you what is the deep learning. Deep learning is actually subset of the machine learning in artificial intelligence. That has networks capable of learning unsupervised from data that is unstructured or unlabeled. Before this, we have a machine learning, but now the subset of the machine learning, there is an algorithm called deep learning. So this algorithm is very powerful to be implemented to the real world, as actually started from those who are doing autonomous vehicle. So this is part of the artificial intelligence. Started with artificial intelligence, then machine learning, then now the deep learning is subset of the machine learning. It is actually algorithm trying to imitate what the human brain. So this algorithm can perform and try to imitate what the human brain can do. So it is actually coming from the driverless cars, because this is the future technology. It's not actually future, but it is already implemented now. Some of the cars, they call it autonomous up to level 5 or level 6, where you don't have to control your car. It is all automatic. So that the autonomous vehicle or autonomous car is actually start from the algorithm of deep learning. It is subset of machine learning and is come from artificial intelligence. So as I said just now, this algorithm is very powerful and it is ready to be implemented to the real world. If you go to the detail of the deep learning, those who are doing research in artificial intelligence, so this is the very famous illustration. Before this, we have a machine learning. It is very tedious work where you have an input and then you need to extract features, do classification, and then you get the output, which is for the classification car or not car. But now, with the deep learning, you don't have to do the feature extraction. You get the input data, image or signal, put it into the deep learning. Deep learning will learn by itself, then it will do the classification. So without doing any feature extraction or any classification. It is very powerful algorithm and it is easy to be implemented by the layman. You may just need to have knowledge on the programming, but you don't have to have a detailed knowledge or expertise on the fundamental theory of the artificial intelligence. So that's why I say this algorithm is now ready to be implemented in real world, especially to be implemented in agriculture sector. So this is the traditional deep learning versus traditional computer vision or image processing, and compared to the deep learning flow. So it is already compressed a few steps, remove a few steps from the traditional computer vision, and it is very powerful, and the efficiency can up to 100%, even better than human interpretation or human decision. Some of the tasks is better compared to the human decision. So that's the deep learning or artificial intelligence. So when come to the agriculture, I would like to share in today's keynotes specific to the drone application for agriculture, where when we apply drone to the agriculture, we get the data, we get a lot of data. So it is sometimes tedious work for farmers or for human to do it, to analyze the data manually. So then we require some method or technique, artificial intelligence, then we apply the deep learning. So that's why drone, when we implement to agriculture, it is close to the algorithm deep learning, because some of the data, it is not practical to analyze by manual, by human eye, by naked eye. Then we need algorithm to do the analysis, or we call it the data analytic. So the types of drone for field crop production, actually this is the those who are familiar with the drone. this is two general type of drone, which is a rotary drones or fixed wing drones. As for my research, I'm not doing research on the drone itself, but as long as the drone can acquire a data, then it is enough for me. So for me, the data is very important because we want to help the farmers instead of them to do it, to analyze it, the data manually, then we can analyze it by using artificial intelligence or specifically is a deep learning algorithm. So this is a two famous drone. Sometimes drone not so expensive, but when you buy together with the sensor, then it is become more expensive. So the sensor is important for the certain application, especially for the crop or agriculture application. You need the advanced sensor to acquire the data so that you can do the monitoring or audit of your crop or your plantation. So this is what I said just now. The sensor integrate or sensor on the drone is very important. Normally, those who has a drone for a hobby, they may just put a camera for visual camera or RGB camera. But for the specific application, we can use a very advanced sensor like a multispectral sensor. Also, RGB or visual cameras also can be used for certain application in the agriculture or crop monitoring. But the advanced sensor, we can use a multispectral cameras. So this is a very advanced and very expensive sensor because we can acquire up to the 5 bands of the wavelength. It is not only visible, we can see the visible wavelength and a non-visible wavelength also can be acquired by the multispectral cameras. So when we have this more than 5 bands of wavelength, then we can get other information which is cannot see by our naked eyes. So that's the idea of the sensor. So this is the theoretical of multispectral imaging. If you look at the range of the wavelength from 400 nanometer up to 700 nanometer, there is a visual image where you can see red, green, blue. But when you fly with the multispectral imaging, you acquire data with the multispectral sensor, you will get the other information wavelength, which is more than 700 nanometer. So this is the wavelength where we can't see. They call it non-visible. But this information is very important to know about our crop. For example, if we want to see the healthy or non-healthy, the stress, soil, the leaf, and so on and so forth. So when we have this kind of sensor, we can apply precision farming to our plantation or our crop. So this is the example of the multispectral sensor. When we acquire the data from the multispectral sensor, we can get this vegetation index. They call it NDVI, normalized differential vegetation index. That is the formula, NIR minus rate divided by NIR plus rate. So this is the common algorithm where you can apply this one, then you can know the healthy and stress vegetation or crop. So this is very practical when you have a plantation or crop in a big size, 100 acre, 200 acres, or 500 acres, 4,000 hectare. All right, it's not practical to do it manually to do the inspection of your crop. Then we need to use a drone to collect all the data for our crop with the size of, like, for example, 200 acre, 100 acre, 200 acres. and then we can do the inspection to find the healthy and non-healthy crop. So this is very practical, and this is what we call it precision farming. So when we apply deep learning into agriculture, we collect the data, we acquire the data from the drone, and then we play the video so that we can know which crop is having a problem of non-healthy or healthy crop. But if you have a very big size of plantation, it is not practical to play a video and to find by one to find a location. So we need to have a system where it is can automatically detect the healthy and non-healthy and give all the information about the location, the position, and so on and so forth. So we can apply deep learning algorithm in agriculture. So this is just to share with you all. Out there are startup company who are focused on develop this system for the precision farming or for the implementation into the agriculture. You can find it in Google, so you can go and see. So this startup company don't have to have just a single person can have this startup company. So next I would like to share our work in deep learning, applying deep learning in agriculture. So this is what we have done in University of Malaysia Pahang. One of the project we did with the one PhD student from China, oil palm tree detection and counting in aerial image based on faster RCNN. Faster RCNN is the deep learning algorithm. Aerial image base is the image that we collect from a drone. Oil palm tree is the oil palm. Malaysia and Indonesia is the biggest oil palm production in the world. It is a very practical for us to implement precision farming for the oil palm. Nowadays, this oil palm tree, when the plantation company start.
It's a great pleasure to be part of this important event. With the pandemic situation that has become more.
So this is the introduction of the oil palm tree. Oil palm trees have been the important economic crop in Malaysia. So we collect the data by using a drone for the 500 acre or 500 hectare of the oil palm. It is important to count the tree because after a certain years, when a plantation plant the oil palm, they need to know how many trees is healthy or how many trees dead. So maybe after 3 years, they need to do the audit to count the oil palm tree. So we have the data for the manual counting of the oil palm trees for 500 acre. It is require 1 month for the GIS company to count the oil palm tree manually. But we collaborate with the drone company. They are collecting the data, then we develop the software and applying the deep learning algorithm. So we managed to count it just for 500 acre. We count it automatically within 1 hour. So this is the problem statement. Manually counts with the GIS software is time consuming. So we apply the deep learning to automatically count the oil palm tree. So this is the algorithm. We use the faster RCNN based deep learning algorithm. So 400 training samples, because when you apply the deep learning, you need to train as many as possible the data. So this is the first step for the training. We label the image so that we teach the algorithm. So this is the oil palm tree. And then this is also the label image. And then when we develop, after we develop the algorithm, then we apply, we test with the other data. So this is the detection results in the form of visualize. So this is the other detection result. So this is the all detected objects 1,204, manually detected 1,236. So the accuracy is overall accuracy is 96.8%. This one can be improved up to 100%. Perhaps we get more data for training. So this is the software that we developed. So the user, the farmers, just need to use this software, collect the data, upload the image or the video. Then within 1 hour or 2 hours, they can know how many oil palm tree in their plantation. This is our next project for the data analytic of oil losses in palm oil mill. It's also the same, but the algorithm is deep learning, faster RCN or CNN. We can use any deep learning network, but the application is different. Just now is oil palm tree, but now is the bunch, oil palm fruits. We want to tackle the problem of oil losses. The Malaysian palm oil accounts for 31% and 46% of the global oils in fat production. So this is the information about the oil palm as a commodity of the world. So we want to tackle this problem. They call it oil extraction rate. So from the fruit bunch, they just get the around 20%, 20.5% oil extraction rate. Of course, they cannot get the 100% because of a lot of losses. But we want to tackle one problem of their oil losses. If we can solve the problem, so you can just imagine how many percent we can save, because the value of the commodity is about 48.15 billion in 2019. If we can save, for example, like 0.0 or 0.1%, so a lot of money can be saved from the total of oil losses. So this is the factors of affecting oil extraction rate. So what we focus is on the at the number 2, factor from oil palm mill machinery equipments that are not properly maintained and upgraded. So we apply data analytic at the oil palm mill or oil palm processing. So this is what I said just now, losses in palm oil mill. There are a few type of losses, but we just focus on this part, oil extraction rate, which is 20.8% total of oil losses, oil extraction rates, or oil losses 1.93%. So you just imagine with the value of production up to the 8 billion, if we can save 1%, so a lot of money can be saved by the plantation company. So this is our project, detection of oil palm bunches to minimize oil losses. We apply deep learning also, same like a previous project. So this is the method. More or less is same step and same method, but you need to tweak a little bit on the algorithm because we apply on the different application. So it's same method, experimental setup, and we use a software to label Python, programming software Python, TensorFlow for training. And this project is still ongoing with one of the big plantation company in Malaysia. our latest efficiency is up to the 98%. We are planning to submit for patent. We are preparing the document to submit for patent because we are implement a new technology in one part of their process. So the company are willing to apply a patent for this project. Okay, so that's two projects from my team here. But this is a next project I has been called by one of the company here in Malaysia for the pineapple. Malaysia is number 3 largest pineapple producer in the world. The Shanghai from China require 100 container per month, but Malaysia just can produce 3 container per month. So you just imagine the demand is very high. So last week I have been called by this company. They're about the drone. It is about 30,000 USD, but they are not afford to analyze the data manually. So they call us for collaboration. If we can implement precision farming or some automatic system for monitoring the pineapple crops so that they can produce up to the maximum production. This is very interesting, and it is not only can be implemented here in Malaysia because we are in the same equatorial, more or less. Pineapple also have in Indonesia. So this can be also implemented in Indonesia. So that's all from me. But before I end this keynotes, if you are interested on this project, applying drone, deep learning, you can come to Malaysia. I'm head of UMP Guilin University Technology GNSS Lab. GNSS is the Beidou Satellite Lab, professional engineer. I've been supervised more than 30 student, PhD and master. I can be contacted at this email. My current research project is deep learning and also GNS for navigation and positioning. This is another project. We also have the deep learning for my biomedical application. Before I end, just to share with you that we have this ongoing project in Malaysia, land information monitoring system, where we can monitor for the landslide by using the satellite positioning and navigation. So we have been implemented and installed the system on the slope or at any position, any strategic position where, or high risk position where the high potential, the landslide to be happen. So if you are interested also, you can come to the here, join us here. Thank you very much, the master ceremony. Back to you. Thank you. See you again.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali. Thank you so much, Prof. And then please stand by with us because we will still have Q&A after all the speaker sessions. Okay, next time we are going to jump to the next speakers. The next speakers will be Professor Kun Harisma. I believe you already joined us since the morning. How are you, ma'am?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, Professor Kun Harisma, MSc PhD from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. You have 30 minutes to deliver your presentation, ma'am. The time is yours.
Yes. Thank you very much. I will show the screen. Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. Firstly, I would like to thank you very much for inviting me to this conference and for giving me the opportunity to talk about clove oils. My talk about clove oil for herbal products, application of sustainable resource in industry. The clove or Eugenia aromaticum contain 70 to 80% eugenol as its main active ingredient. And eugenol has two biological activities, namely as antioxidant and inflammatory. I will show about clove. This is bud clove. Yeah. Content of oil to 10 to 20%, and then clove stem contain 5 to 10% of oil, and then leaf clove contain 1 to 4% of oil. I will show you this clove leaf oil first quality from district of Boyolali. And then the second one is from district of Karanganyar, but this is not good quality because there is some water in this oil. Okay, production of clove leaf oil, especially in Boyolali, we need raw material as a clove leaf, and then this is raw material, and this raw material also, and the main device to production of clove leaf oil, we need boiler, this quite big boiler, and then after that the second device is cooler, the big cooler, the inside this water and long pipe, and then this filter from cooler, and you can see here there is pipe. The clove leaf oil container in this place, but not good place here. Then we see here filtering of clove leaf oil is very simple process, and this is the filter, and this is the product of clove leaf oil in Boyolali. Okay. About clove oil, there are 3 products of clove oil: clove bud oil and clove stem oil. Olfactive note for clove bud oil: spicy, sweet, fermented, and woody. Yeah, we know about production this. We use steam distillation. And clove stem oil and clove leaf oil: olfactive note, spicy, clove-like odor, warm, pungent taste. And this is steam clove, and this one clove leaf. Okay. Nutrient of clove per 100 gram contain nutrient, protein, lipid, carbohydrate, and fiber. And mineral, there are quite big mineral about calcium and potassium. And vitamin, there are some vitamin content in clove. And then main component of clove, firstly eugenol. We see here the structure of eugenol contain three functional group. Firstly alkene, this double bond, and then alcohol, and then ether, yeah, ROR. So in one compound there are three functional group. From this functional group we can make or synthesis derivatives of eugenol. And then the second main component, caryophyllene, this one, beta caryophyllene, and then alpha humulene or alpha caryophyllene, and then eugenyl acetate. According this boiling point, eugenol, the boiling point 253.2. So we can separate between eugenol and beta caryophyllene by using distillation, because quite big difference of boiling point. So other minor constituents including methyl amyl ketone, camphorol, gallutonic acid, beta humulene, methyl salicylate, and benzaldehyde are responsible for the characteristic fragrance of clove. And quality requirements of clove oil, according Food and Chemical Codex 4th edition, and then according Standard Nasional Indonesia, this color, and then content of eugenol, and also content of beta caryophyllene. But in the market, I mean traditional market, they don't need this standard. Yeah. And about herbal product of clove oil. Yeah, okay. Before that, derivative of eugenol. This is eugenol. About this alkene, we can make isomer of eugenol. This is isoeugenol. And then when we methylate it in this hydroxyl, we got methyl eugenol. And then when we make vanillin synthesis, this one from the raw material or starting material of eugenol. So too many derivatives of eugenol as main component in clove oil. The product of clove oil in our group, we have some product about clove oil. Firstly, clove mouthwash contain clove oil and stevia as sweetener. We know about stevia is non-calorie, so we can use as a mouthwash. And the second one, clove solid soap, that we need this for antibacterial. Yeah. According to antibacterial activity of solid soap, in this formula, which is clove oil and stevia 1 to 4, we got the biggest antibacterial solid soap, which is 21.67. And then the third product, we got clove hand sanitizer. This is a clove hand sanitizer. We know sanitizer play a vital role to protect and maintain hand hygiene. As it's Corona time, we need to protect our hands to stop the spread COVID-19 virus. And we give name about make daus. Make it means minyak cengkeh, and daus it means daun sirsa. So this is already we sell in our university, and two good point for get money. And formulation of hand sanitizer, we got seven formulation. Material contain carboxyl methyl cellulose, sodium carboxyl cellulose, sodium CMC, and then extract of sirsak leaf, and then glycerin, and then clove leaf oils and propylene glycol. For this formulation, we got results. The color, odors, and homogeneity, all of them hand sanitizer is homogeneous. And the density of hand sanitizer more than 1 gram per centimeter cubic. And for 6 formula, because this no clove leaf oil, so we can smell of this product, so no odors. Okay, for next result, clove hand sanitizer, compared to clove and aloe vera, Cahyani, this is and then for this, I mean, for graphic of clove hand sanitizer, this is very good results, because for this can reduce of bacterial until 2.5. This one clove and aloe vera hand sanitizer. So the another product of clove oil. The firstly clove and aloe vera, and then the secondly clove and muricata or sirsa. Okay. The another product for clove oil, we got seruni. This is contain seligi or Philanthus pusifolius. This plant of seligi, and we this product, the competitor is contraband, yeah, but this not the, I mean, light, not strong as contraband, so children can use this one. This product we already got patent, but still enroll, and then we waiting for granted patent of seruni. So this one is good product of seruni as a seligi and clove oil. And we want to enroll of merit, but the font of this different, and I mean for the tube different font, and the this one, so we need to improve the same font. Okay, yeah, this all of my product about oil, clove oil. So the next project we want to make about, we can say in traditional name or Indonesian name is minyak telon. So contain clove leaf oil, and another essential oil, and we can make them for commercial product also. Okay, thank you very much for hearing my talk.
Thank you very much, Professor Kunharisma, for your time and also for your presentation. And then the next session should be for Professor Ismail Rakib Karas from Karabük University, Turkey. Professor Ismail, can you listen my voice? Or we can change. The next session should be for Professor Morten Holm van Dong. Maybe you are ready there, Professor? Okay, the next would be from Professor Morten Holm van Dong, a sector counselor from Embassy of Denmark. Now the time is yours. You have around 30 minutes for presentation. Would you please? Or Professor Ismail? Professor Ismail Rakib Karas, you listen my voice? We are still connecting with Professor Ismail Rakib Karas.
Yeah, I can hear right now because, hello,
okay.
Hello, Chair. Thank you for your nice presentation. Actually, I tried to turn on my voice, but it was locked by the host. That's why I cannot send my voice to you. And after writing to chat window, I think the administrator changed my position, my voice to turn on. Thank you for your presentation. About me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all audience, to all my friends, my brothers, my sisters. I'm very grateful to be here. Let me share my presentation. Sorry. Can you see my presentation? Can you see my presentation?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. I think you can see my presentation right now. My name is Ismail Rakib Karas from Karabük University. As you see on the screen, Karabük University in Turkey, Türkiye. Actually, we are preferring to tell as Türkiye, not Turkey. And today I'm going to mention about something about graph isomorphism and usage in 3D navigation. Hopefully you will be interested. First of all, I would like to mention about Walisanga in Java Island. As I know, they have a big impact in Java Island. Probably you know better than me in detail. But as I checked, their effect, their impact is like the impact of the Sufi Evliyaullah of Turkey, who is coming eastern side of to Turkey maybe thousand years ago, and they provide the conversion of our country to Islam, like Walisanga in Java Island. At first, I would like to make a dua for them and for all Awliyaullah. May Allah elevate the soul of all these Awliyaullah to the highest level of paradise, and inshallah, may Allah guide and success us in this great conference as we strive only His cause. Inshallah, the conference will be successful. And I would like to thanks again to the chair, to the committee, organizing committee, for the invitation of me. Thank you for your nice invitation. Karabük University, I would like to give some information about my university. As you see, this is our main campus. This is our main campus in my city. I'm the member of this university. You can see the web link at top. Where is Karabük? Where is Karabük University? You see at left side, the Europe map is seen. Turkey is the southeast of Europe, and my city, Karabük province, is the northern part of Turkey, as you see. It is very close to the Black Sea region. And you see here some views from our campus. Our university has been ranked, recently ranked in World University Ranking, the rank company, ranking institution. As you see, we have been involved around. We have been involved in the first 1,000. And this is my team. I am the head of 3D geoinformatics research group in my university, which can be reached by the upper link. You see 3D GIRG by clicking to this link. You can get more information. These are the member of our research group. Some of are still going their PhDs or masters, or some of them has already completed their studies. We as group, we have already organized many events, many conferences. I would like to mention a little bit. This is our recent conference. Last month, at the beginning of October, we organized this international conference as a group. It was online, like yours, was a virtual conference, and it was a very successful conference organized by together with Moroccan friends. Another one is Joint Advances Conference. It was held in 2017. The link is still active. Another one, this is the Turkish-German 3D Spatial Information Workshop in 2014. The links are still active. You can check these conferences. So my topic is some application on graphs and is isomorphism aspect of graphs. First, I would like to mention about the topology, then topology aspect of the graphs. Then I would like to sorry, I would like to mention one of the application by you which use isomorphism principles of the graphs. What is isomorphism? You know, maybe some of you know that graph theory is the one of the subtopic of mathematics and computer science. In graph theory, we have isomorphism approach. What is isomorphism? In isomorphism, the relationships are kept, but all other metric things are ignored. On the screen, you see a fish. You see, on the left, there's a small fish. On middle, like kind of a big fish, and on the right, one of the narrow fish. But when we see these three shapes, we, as human, we can say that these three of them are fishes. So why we can call as fish? Because the connections are still there. The wing connected to the body in same place for three of them. The tail connected to the body in same place. The eyes, the mouth, they all are connected to the big parts of the body in same way. So the connections, the relationships are still kept, still preserved, but the position, coordinates, metric values are changed, and they are ignored. This is the main approach to the isomorphism in graph theory, and this approach, this shape, this example, fish example, is called as rubber sheet geometry. Rubber sheet geometry. Why we call as rubber sheet geometry? It is like a drawing on a rubber sheet. It is like a drawing on a balloon. If you draw this shape on a balloon, and when you stretch the balloon, the shape will be changed like this fish. That's why we call as rubber sheet geometry. In every drawing of the shape on rubber sheet, is the conversion to the to another drawing of the shape, and we call this property as isomorphism. There are some examples here. You see we see here some graphs. These all are actually in the aspect of topology. These all are same graphs. You see on the top left top side ABC graph. ABC graph is topologically same with the the right side ABC graph, and this rectangle shaped graph is topologically same as the circled one. All these graphs, which is matched with others, these all are topologically same, or one is isomorph of another one. Okay, this is the isomorphism. We can give some other examples from real life. Actually, this is taken from Istanbul. These are the stops of subway, and this picture has been taken from the subway trains, inside of subway trains. You know, in subways, in metro trains, inside of metro trains, upper side of the doors, there are this kind of lines which shows the order of the stops of the train. Okay, normally this line on the map, this line is very complicated, very complex. It is like a snake on the map, and the distance between the stops are not equal, and every stop has a unique coordinates, and one is maybe in different direction to another. If we check this line on a map, it is very complex and like a snake, right? But by making topological conversion, by getting the isomorph of this map, we are putting them in one line by ordering the stops in equal distance. So this is the isomorphism in our daily life. The isomorphism from our daily life. This is a good example of topological conversion. Another good example. This is the map of transportation map of Istanbul. This is the real map, as you see. You can make some measurement by using your ruler on this map. The distances are based on a scale. The directions, the coordinates are produced in proper way in the scale of this map. But it is very complex to be understood. To understand the connections of transportation lines is very difficult here. But if you convert this map to this map, it is very simple to be understood. Maybe probably you know this approach in your own cities, own countries. for the subway or metro passengers, or for the transportation for passengers, this kind of simple maps are produced to be understood by the passengers, which to be seen the stops in proper order. And by using this kind of maps, you can easily understand the shifting points. You can easily understand where is the stop, which is next, which is previous, which line should be changed in which point. It is very simple and understandable, but here it is very complex. So this is the real map, but this is the topological converted map. So this real map has been topologically converted to this map to be easily understood, to be properly checked and used by the passengers. This is another example. On upper side, you see the real map of Berlin in Germany. In lower side, similarly, you see the isomorph of this transportation network, and the upper map has been converted, has been topologically converted to this isomorph graph of the transportation network. By using a lower one, you can easily go from one stop to another stop by changing line, by using a different color of the line. So until now I tried to give some abstract about the isomorphism. And this is the application, our application, which use isomorphism principle in graphs, or maybe topologically processed, we can call, this is an application that topologically processed something. The method is muscle model. This model has been developed by me several years ago. The muscle is coming multi-direction from, the muscle is coming from the letters of multi-directional scanning for line extraction. I define this model, this method, as muscle model. It is very powerful for the vectorizing of straight lines through the raster images by using some special methods. The method, this is the flow chart of the model. Firstly, on the raster images, firstly, threshold processing has been done. Then nearly vertical lines are obtained. How? By scanning the images horizontally. Then nearly horizontal lines are obtained by scanning the images vertically. After these two steps, we are checking the image. If the line was wrongly vectorized, we are making diagonal scanning. After all these steps, all these three steps, we are combining all the obtained lines. Then we are generating some models, 3D building model and 3D geodatabase model. By using these two models, we can make 3D navigation application. At the end of this presentation, I'm gonna send some pictures from the 3D navigation. So in this 3D navigation, we used topological aspect of graph theory. This is a little bit, this step is a little bit in detail. Actually, I don't want to give complex explanation. I don't want to give some confusion, but let me try to give an abstract. These four images are the zooming to the lines on raster images. You see on lower side there's a picture. There's a part of an raster image, and when you zoom in this image, when you approach too much to the lines can be seen like upper side images, but in these four upper side images, we can realize the pixels of the line by doing horizontal scanning. I mean, horizontal scanning means checking the pixels horizontally one by one from left to right. By using horizontal scanning, you can get the middle pixels attached, as you see on first image. If the line is nearly vertical, these red pixels can be obtained side by side, as you see here. They are attached to each other. But if the line is nearly horizontal, like on upper right, the red pixels can be obtained separated. Similarly, if you make vertical scanning, this time for the nearly vertical lines, you can get red pixels. I mean, the middle pixels are separated, but for the nearly horizontal lines, you can get the mid pixels attached to each other, and this is an advantage. After the horizontal scanning, we can by making line following, pixel following, I mean the red pixels, by the checking of red pixels and by the following of red pixels, after the horizontal scanning, we can get the skeleton of nearly vertical lines. After the vertical scanning, we can get the red pixels of nearly horizontal lines. So this two-side scanning of the image is providing us an advantage. From horizontal scanning, we can get nearly vertical lines. From vertical scanning, we can get nearly horizontal lines as the skeleton of the lines. You see here on the left, the nearly vertical lines are the pixels of nearly vertical lines are attached to each other, but nearly horizontal lines are separated to each other. After this process, we can get nearly vertical lines as vector format like on right. Contrary of this process, for the horizontal lines, for the vertical scanning, we can get the nearly horizontal lines. And when we combine these two steps in one level, we can obtain all lines in one level. But we have some mistakes in some situation, some cases. If the lines are going consecutively nearly horizontal or nearly vertical, here you see we have three consecutive lines, AB, BC, and CD, and three of them are nearly horizontal. In these cases, we have a problem and we have a wrong vectorization. To correct this situation, these kind of lines, we are applying diagonal scanning. At the end of diagonal scanning, we can fix these lines. Then all these converted lines, all obtained lines in vector format are converted to the geo database. As you see on the right side, on the left side, we see the coordinates of these lines, but on the right side, we see the graph approach of these lines. You see from node to node and distance. So these two columns, from node to node columns, are actually the graph approach. After all these steps, actually we have a topological corrections. We need to make some topological corrections because we have some problems. The closer points are not connected in one junction, and this should be fixed. For example, you see in first figure, the three unconnected points are moved, and they are connected in one point. This is one of the many topological corrections. Another one is overshooted points. Overshooted points are fixed, and as you see here in this example, the overshooted line is fixed and moved to the K point. By doing this, these three lines are connected in same point, in same node. Another one is undershoot point. Normally, this lower line should connect to K point, but it is undershooted. By doing some topological corrections, this undershooted line is connected to K point, and at the end of process, these three lines from left, from right, and from lower side are connected in K point and fixed as topologically. And sometimes two lines are passing on through, but they are not connected, and we need to make them as connected, as you see on the last image, last figure here. By doing these topological corrections, what's going on in database side? You see on the left, there's a graph-based approach. There's a link, there's a line, there's a link between node 2 and node 5. When you, if we connect another line to this line, you see 8-9 line, 8-9 link is connected to 2-5 link on right side. There's a connection or topologically attachment process here. There's a attachment or there's a connection process here. And this is a topological process actually on the database side. How? On the left, we see the database tables for current line for 2-5 line. You see in nodes table, we have 2 and 5, number 2 and number 5 nodes and their coordinates. In links table, number 2 is connected to 5 with a d1 distance. But when we add a new connection to this connection, this link, what's going on in geodatabase? To nodes table, the node 9 is added. In links table, in links table, 2-5 link has been cancelled. Instead, 2-9, 9-5, and 8-9 links are added to the table with their distance. So this is the topological corrections in database side of the graph-based links. So this method has been applied to the real buildings. This is the floor plan of a building. You see there are some stairs, there are some rooms, corridors. By using this muscle method, we are producing the indoor links for the pedestrians. We produced door links for the pedestrians by using muscle model. At the end of process, we can create the pedestrian network of the building as you see here. By entering the stair numbers, we can obtain graph-based pedestrian network to be used in 3D navigation can be produced. You see on lower side, you can see this kind of network, pedestrian network. This is the 3D pedestrian travel network of the building. On this kind of networks, we can make 3D network analysis and 3D navigation. See, on the left side, we see the level of the building, and from one point to another point, we can make a network analysis. I mean, we can create the shortest path. We can create the shortest path between two nodes. On the upper left side, from I cannot properly see, but from node 5 to node 413, there's a shortest path analysis. There are some other analysis, shortest path analysis, seen in these images. On the lower right side, another one is seen. by using these networks, we can make some indoor navigation application. We have already make this kind of applications in indoor site by using some devices, but it is the subject of another presentation maybe, and I think it is enough. I think I could give some short explanation about the usage of the isomorphism principles of the graphs on on an application in real life. I think this is enough. Thank you for your invitation again. Next year we have another conference. If you would like to join to our conference, 6th International Conference on Smart Cities Applications will be done, inshallah, face to face. Inshallah, this bad days will be over, and we can get together again as the researchers, as the brothers and sisters in different environments, in real environments, in real face-to-face conferences. Inshallah, we can get together next year on October 2021 in our historical city, Safranbolu. This is the UNESCO Heritage City. You are all invited to our conference. And thanks again for your interest, for your invitation. You can get more information about me by using these links, or you can contact with me by using this email. Thank you for your joining and watching my presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Ismail Karib Karas. A very big round of applause here. Thank you so much, Prof. And then don't forget, Professor
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Ismail
Salam.
Karas
Salam.
already mentioned about. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sir. Professor Ismail Rakib Karas already mentioned about International Conference of Smart City Application next year. So for all participants, if you want to join, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, face-to-face conference. Is it correct, Prof?
Inshallah, if the period will be over, this pandemic period will be over, we have intention to organize face-to-face, but otherwise we will make it again online. We will watch the period. We will watch the you see, inshallah, we can get together.
Indeed. Inshallah, so this is the next October 2021. So we hope the condition will get better soon. Okay, if you have any question or participant have any question, we are going to open the Q&A session after all participants. After all speaker session. So if you want to ask question, either raise your hand or you can write it in the chat. So for the last and the next presentation, there will be the greeting video from Professor Morten Holm van Dok, Sector Consular Embassy of Denmark, and it will be followed by the presentation session of Ibu Yun Arifatul Fatimah. So for the video, please play. Oh, sorry, Professor Ismail Rakib Karas, please can you stop sharing your screen?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
I have stopped.
Thank you so much, and we hope you still join us for the last session for the Q&A. Thank you, Prof. For all the participants, please join the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to be part of this important event. With the pandemic situation that has become more and more unpredictable, the academic world needs to step up in contributing to the policymakers to rely to scientific-based development in the next step of rebuilding better and greener post the pandemic. Denmark and Indonesia have been mutually cooperating in many sectors. This year marks our 70 years of anniversary of the diplomatic relations between our two countries. It is going strong, not least in the sustainability area. We are at the moment cooperating in the field of environment, energy, as well as food and agriculture. These partnerships allow us to be committing to open a wider cooperation in the sectors in the area of regulatory framework, commercial opportunities, and not least research and academic. It is timely for us all to rethink about our future and strive in creating a greener and more sustainable future for us all. We are highlighting the green sector as it is the only way to move forward in creating sustainable businesses, meaning creating more opportunities, jobs, but also at the same time avoiding
Okay, hello everyone. Just want to continue the presentation of Professor Morton. Actually, Professor Morton hoped to be able to join online via Zoom together with us. But because time difference between Indonesia and Denmark, Indonesia is 7 hours ahead than Denmark, did not allow him to join from Denmark. Apologize for this inconvenient matter. This time he could just say hello to all of you actually. And he is very happy to be able to join here, even though it is short, and hope that one day there would be further discussion in the future. However, I personally would add some information about future research collaboration with Denmark Embassy under the DANIDA, Danish International Development Agency, because I become part of one of applicator to submit research grant this year. So Danida Fellowship Center administer the support of the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs to research collaboration project and research capacity development in Danida priority countries and in the emerging economy, which Denmark collaborate under the strategic sector cooperation facility. Danida also managed the entire project cycle from the announcement of annual call for application to the completion of research project. Usually, there are 2 calls are open to international cooperation, especially for developing countries, including Indonesia and also other Asian countries. So the calls called Danida Mobility and Research Grant. So I was part of this grant. So I would like to share with all of you that there will be a future collaboration and a lot of potential collaboration between Indonesia and Denmark under this Danida committee. And then first, I would like to share about the mobility grant. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark provide grant for development research activity as part of Denmark International Development Cooperation. Within this framework, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark invite application for individual Danida Mobility Grant to facilitate the creation and development of international network and research collaboration through research stay in Denmark by researchers from the growth and transition country included in the partnering with Denmark program. So we are Indonesia, Bangladesh,
China, Colombia, Ghana, Indonesia, Iran, Kenya, Myanmar, South Africa, Turkey, and Vietnam are eligible to apply for this. And also application can be submitted completely. So I think that the whole year we can apply for this program. So I would like to ask you, let's together to go international and try to get some funding from this opportunity. And then the visiting researcher, the one who may apply, must hold a PhD or equivalent qualification document. And also the application must be submitted by the Danish host institution. So in this case, we have to have collaboration with the Danish university. I hope that many university in this seminar has collaboration with Danish government. So we can use this opportunity to get this research funding. And in 2019, actually the program called the Green and Circular Economy, Dynamic and Government, and there are 30 participants in this program who involved in this mobility program. The second grant which we can also get from this Danish embassy is a research grant. So the overall objective of the Danish support to research cooperation is to contribute to new solutions with new knowledge and new approach, and to increase the country capacity for creating and applying new knowledge themselves. In accordance with this objective, the grant will be awarded to strategic research cooperation, which generated new knowledge relevant to the needs and strategies of the partner country, to Denmark cooperation with this country, as well as including substantive element of research capacity strengthening. And then the eligible country, we are part of them, because the research must be implemented in the growth and transition country, involved in the strategic sector cooperation with the Denmark. They are currently Indonesia, of course, one of them, and Brazil, China, Colombia, and others. So our competitor actually not only Indonesia participant, but also other Asian countries. So the expected duration for this project is about 18 to 36 months, with maximum grant is about 5 million Danish krone. And actually we are engineering faculty, Universitas Muhammadiyah Magelang. We try to apply in this grant this year, and we are now in the second level. So the first assessment has been done, and we passed the assessment, and then we go for the next assessment. And I would like to share maybe in the future year 2021, other colleagues can also apply for this, because it's actually good to make a good research collaboration, international collaboration with international partners. And for this project participation, the application must list all partner institutions, including partner in growth and transition country. And it is also, I would like to say that the application must come from the Denmark university. So that's actually the proposal must be submitted from the University of Denmark. So this is our concern, because in this campus Merdeka Merdeka Belajar, we are encouraged to make international collaboration with other international counterpart. So this is opportunity for us to get more funding, more research collaboration with other. I hope that in Turkey also, and also in Malaysia, there are a lot of potential research grant can be reached. If we can maybe in the future we can have a good collaboration from this on. I think that's actually what I would like to share. And then just to complete what Professor Morton said, actually he would like to share to
to us about future and potential collaboration between Indonesia and also Denmark. Unfortunately, we could make it, but thanks to Professor Morton, who has stayed greeting us, even though it is only on short time. Maybe that's what I would like to share. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Ibu Yun Arifatul Fatima. You can close it first, maybe.
Thank you. I think that is
Okay. Thank you so much, Ibu Yun. And then that's be all. So we have already listened one keynote speaker's presentation and also 4 speakers presentation. And then for all the participants, if you have any questions, you can either raise your hands so you can ask directly, or you can write it in the chat, in the Zoom chat, I mean. So we have Professor Ismail Rakib Karas here from Karabük University, Turkey. We have Professor Kum Harisma, MSc PhD from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. And we have Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali from University Malaysia, Pahang, Malaysia. And also we have our beloved Ibu Yun that can answer the question from you all as well.
Okay, is there? Actually, there are 2 questions on my hand. If there is no question, then I will read the first question. Is there? Should I read the first question?
We guess so.
Okay.
We're waiting for the others.
There is a question from someone. He or she asked, we show from the picture that the project you show us has already done. Is there any challenges happen during this pandemic? Actually, this question is for Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali from University Malaysia, Pahang. Let me repeat one more the question. We saw from the picture that the project you show us has already done. Is there any challenges happen during this pandemic?
Thank you for the question. The project has been done. I presented to you 2 projects, 3 actually. The other one is landslide, but it's not in my slide presentation. But the 2 projects for the agriculture, one is the oil palm tree counting, and the other one is to study the oil losses in the oil palm mill. Both project has been started a year ago, and we almost finished the system. One of the projects to analyze the oil losses in oil palm mill has been prepared for patent application. But the other one, the system is ready, but we still don't have any user interested to use it. But we are now doing promotion and to go to the plantation company to present our work. Since this project has been done a year ago, the challenging part is the data collection, because you have to go out to the field to collect the data. If we go to the 100 or 200 or 1,000 acre of oil palm plantation, so it may take like 2 or 3 days to fly a drone to collect the data. So back to the question, there is no issue on the pandemic or COVID because we have been started this project a year ago without just before this pandemic happened. But I think for nowadays in Malaysia, our current situation, we just like flatten the curve, or our cases almost down to 0. I think a few weeks or a month ago, but today, as for today, it was increasing, not exponentially, but every day increasing now as for today's or as for yesterday, the cases is almost 1,000, more than 1,000 cases in Malaysia, and certain state has been uh, uh, implement movement control order. As for my university, our state is still okay. There is no movement control order. We can go out and we can work as usual. But if you want to collect data in the state that implement MCO, for sure we cannot go and collect the data. But to answer the question, there is no issue on the COVID-19 because we just fly a drone and it is not involve a lot of many people. We are not contact with a lot of people. So for me, once we get the data, we bring back the data to the lab, then we develop the software. So all the work, actually most of the works to develop the system is actually in the lab. So I think that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I remind you once more, for you who wants to join in our Zoom, you can type down in the chat box. Is there any other?
Okay. Oh, thank you. So we have another one here actually. I hope the committee can give us the name of the participant who asked, but the question is like this. This is to all speakers. So, Assalamualaikum, excuse me. My name is Sania Saskia, one of the participant of Pkmm from Universitas Iceat Yogyakarta. Please let me ask, which one is more effective between clove oil and ethanol as a hand sanitizer, and why? Okay, and based on the economic aspect, which one is lower cost, so maybe bought by most societies, and what the reason? So maybe Ibu Kun Harisma can answer the question first. Ibu, Ms. Kun, I believe you are still with us. Can you unmute yourself, please? Or the committee? Okay. Thank you, Ibu. You can start to answer the questions.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the question. Hand sanitizer with ethanol, some people they got allergy, so the skin may be irritation, and in Muslim some people they don't like use ethanol, and we use the hand sanitizer non-alcohol. Yeah, I think my question is
Indeed, because people sometimes misunderstood about the ingredients of the hand sanitizer, isn't it, Ibu?
Okay.
And then it's not alcohol, so it is still halal to use.
Yeah, but I mean, some people they got irritation when they use alcohol, so maybe much better use non-alcohol.
Okay, and then how about the effectiveness? Is it the same?
It's the same, yeah, because in this my product about I mean can reduce antimicrobial the research until 90% effective to reduce microbial.
Wow, 90%.
Yeah. I mean, because of clove oil contain eugenol and as antimicrobial, so effective for use as a hand sanitizer. And we can use another essential oils, for example, eucalyptus, something like this, to produce hand sanitizer non-alcohol.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Kun. And then Luckily, Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of eucalyptus here in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Professor Kun. And then we jump to the next question. Thank you
Okay.
so much because the questions keep popping up here.
Okay. Another question, but actually it is anonymous, and it is for Professor Ismail Rakib Karas. Okay, I'm afraid it is not narrowing down question. Actually, it's general, very general. The question is, what should we anticipate in the technology changing due to the Industrial Revolution 4.0? Maybe it is especially in a 3D imaging, maybe, but this is the only question. Professor Ismail?
Yeah, thank you. Terima kasih, actually. Industry 4.0 is very popular nowadays. As you know, everything is based on computers, not just the devices on the table or on hand, but also all kind of devices are connected to internet, connected based on a computer. For example, our cars will be automated by the maybe by the robotic systems or autonomous systems. Our fridge, our household devices will be connected with internet and controlled by automatically. Industrial process will be maybe part of some networks. So everything is going to this way. Even education side, you know, this pandemic period forced all of us to use the online platforms. So almost our daily life is moving to the online platforms, and we are almost converting like half robots by being online. And these devices, these mobile phone is like a part of our body right now, and maybe 5 years later, 10 years later, they will be a real part of our body, maybe by the attachment of our body or by using some special glasses. So the technology is going very fast, and even sometimes we cannot catch by the imaging or in the imaging aspect or in the navigation aspect. I have already mentioned. Yeah, navigation is going to smart navigation. Here I didn't mention in detail, but we had already completed some research about smart navigation in indoor environment. By using your mobile navigation, you can easily evacuate from the buildings in the case of extraordinary situation. We did some research about this area. Similarly, for the cars, autonomous cars, for the pedestrians, for the for other aims, very interesting. Smart navigation systems are taught nowadays by the researchers, for example, based on virtual reality, augmented reality, based on wireless networks, based on imagery technologies such as laser scanning or visual scanning or remote sensed images. These all are some challenges in this area, in industrial 4.0 area. I think this is enough. I have mentioned I have mentioned in general about my area, the aspect of industry 4.0. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the possibility of involving here. Inshallah, we will get together face to face in the future.
Okay.
Again,
Okay.
terima kasih.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Professor. Tasyakur Adrim, Professor. Okay.
Rica
Is there
ederim,
any?
rica
Is there any question? Another question, maybe?
Indeed, we have questions popping up again here. So this is for Professor Kamarul. Professor Kamarul, the question is from Bapak Waspada dari Tasikmalaya. The question is there any available DL on drone applicable for mining exploration? Thank you.
Yeah, very good question. Actually, when you have a sensor, you will have a data. Nowadays, data mean a lot. I mean, if you have a data, you will be a champion. IR 4.0 is about data. It's about how you manage the data. That's why now the hot topic is data analytics. Any data, even for the engineering field, for the finance, business, management, if you have data, you will be a success. Your company will be success. So back to the mining. I believe there is a tools or equipment for you to use to find the location where there is a for mining. So if you have data, definitely you can use artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence, the concept or the fundamental is replace a human brain to make a decision, because sometimes the human brain is inefficient due to the certain factors because of human factors. So we need a system, we need a machine to make a decision on behalf of us, on behalf of human brain. So deep learning is just a tool, it's just algorithm. You can apply to any data that you have, because previously people use artificial intelligence, then people use machine learning, but now there is algorithm called deep learning, which is very powerful, has been developed by people in Google, people in Alexa. They are developed the algorithm. So we don't have to develop it. We just take the algorithm from the chef, apply to our application. But if you are interested on the fundamental, on the mathematical definition derivation, then you can also define a new algorithm of deep learning. But sometimes if you want to solve a problem, because we are engineer, you just take all the algorithm on the shelf, apply to your application, and then you can solve. For example, if the problem, the current problem is manual interpretation, then you can use the deep learning to do it automatically. So that's the idea. So as long as you have the data, you can use deep learning and apply it for your certain purpose. So as for the answer, I can say it can be used if you have the data. This is very interesting topics to be explored. That's all my answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali. I hope Pak Waspada already got the answer for the questions given. So the next.
And
Please.
again, I have anonymous question, and again for Professor Ismail Rakib Karas. Okay, Someone asking you, Professor, about how about the development robotic technology, especially in Turkey?
Thank you. Maybe you realize that maybe you are watching, you are following the news about Turkey. We have really really powerful unmanned and manned air vehicles recently developed. We are using these drones, these UAVs in Middle East, in our border, in the some security activities some security activities in our southeast border. Even we are supporting to our friend countries by using these drones, and they are very powerful. Sometimes they are involved in the press of around of the world. So these drones, these military drones are produced by the government, by the security institutions, as you guess, and by the pioneering of this technology, actually we are proud of. We are very proud of. We are very proud of the development of these technologies. In detail, I don't have information about the background of these technologies, but the question was the role of technology, right? Normal for industry or daily life. About this area also we have some developments. Some of private companies are producing some on the other recent 10 years we sent some satellites Earth for aims for students and the name of this like first one is good and second one is Prasad means Prasad drone I think this is enough for me. I would like to
Okay, we are so sorry, Professor Ismail Rakib Karash. Your voice is quite delay here and quite trouble. We do hope the participants who asked the question can understand at least several of the answer. But if you want to ask another question, you can re-ask again in the chat box. And then I believe, and we believe the other questions here, please. You can read the question.
Okay, yeah, I think they solved it. I think they solved it, right?
Okay, I'm so sorry. I think that's all for the questions. And then I believe Professor Ismail, are you still with us? The connection is quite bad there, but thank you so much for all the speakers and all the participants for joining since the morning 9 a.m. until 12 a.m. Indonesia time. And then now we are arriving to the end of the session. So we from the Master of Ceremonies sincerely apologize if any convenience happened. And then let's end this today's session by saying Alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. And once again, thank you so much for all the speakers, Bapak Profesor Ismail Rakib Taras, Profesor Morton Holmpando, Profesor Kun Harisma, MSc PhD, and Professor Dr. Kamarul Hawarin bin Ghazali. And we really do hope we can meet directly face to face in another event. So let's end this meeting and this conference by wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Para hadirin dan para peserta Iceat, diumumkan bahwa acara penutupan Rakornas yang akan diselenggarakan malam hari ini, di dalam acara tersebut akan diumumkan para pemenang lomba untuk Best Paper Iceat dan SNTT, Best Paper Iceat dan SNTT, dan pemenang tiap cabang lomba KMM dan Pkmm. Yang kedua, pengumuman nominasi Best Paper. Yang kedua, akan ditampilkan pengumuman nominasi Best Paper untuk Iceat dan SNTT.
Oke, jadi untuk semua partisipan yang sudah mengirimkan papernya, dan juga untuk semua teman-teman mahasiswa yang sudah mengikuti PKMM, bersiap-siap kami akan memperlihatkan nominasinya. Jadi tadi sudah diinfokan bahwa ada 9 cabang lomba dalam PKMM. Yaitu pertama, ada pengembangan aplikasi perangkat lunak, software application, ada rumah minimalis tahan gempa, ada pemrograman, ada smart home IoT hackathon, ada mesin UMKM tepat guna, dan business plan. Jadi hari ini, siang ini kami hanya akan memberikan nominasinya karena pengumumannya akan dilakukan di malam hari. Okay. Dan jangan lupa for all the participants who have already submit the paper for International Conference on Engineering and Applied Technology or Iceat 2020, we are going to announce the nominee of the best paper after this, dan juga nominasi bagi Seminar Nasional Teknologi Terapan untuk best papernya. Dan kami mengucapkan terima kasih, thank you very much for all the participants who have already joined us for today event and also have submitted the paper. And for all the students as well, terima kasih banyak for joining the PKMM. And then, Pak Tusi, is there something that we can add for the participant today before we close the meeting by announcing the nominee maybe?
Iya, saya ingatkan lagi setelah ini mulai dari jam 1 sampai jam 5 ada parallel session, yaitu Iceat parallel session dan SNTT parallel session. Kemudian akan dilanjutkan dengan forum diskusi ilmiah Dekan Teknik PTM. Dan rangkaian penutupan Rakornas akan diselenggarakan mulai pukul 19 dan pengumuman pemenang baik Iceat, SNTT, KMM, PKMM akan diumumkan sekitar pukul 19.20 hingga pukul 20 sekaligus menandai berakhirnya acara Rakornas pada siang hari ini.
Oke, langsung saja kita berikan pertama kali the best nominee for the best paper. Jadi untuk semua for all participants who join or submit the paper for ECEAT 2020, here is the nominee for the best paper, but doesn't mean that if you're not the best paper, you can't also be so enjoyable to join the next session, because remember there will be the parallel session after this. start from 1 AM karena akan ada dipotong dulu dengan isyoma dan sholat zuhur. Oke, kita akan share the video of the best paper nominee. Ada berapa nominasinya Pak Tusi? Oh, ada 5. There will be 5 nominee for the best paper, and you are going to see it in your Zoom screen right now.
Oke, sembari menunggu persiapan Zoom, kami ingatkan juga bahwa kegiatan besok pagi mulai jam 8 hingga jam 11 adalah rapat evaluasi Rakornas Pengurus AST dan persiapan Rakornas tahun depan 2021. Oke, setelah siap ini pengumuman nominator Iceat dan SNTT. Selanjutnya adalah pengumuman nominasi KMM dan Pkmm.
Baik, Bapak dan Ibu, seperti biasa, sebelum kita menutup acaranya, kita akan ada sesi foto bersama terlebih dahulu dengan rekan-rekan yang terhubung secara online maupun Bapak dan Ibu di sini secara offline. Baik, kita akan coba foto bersama. Bapak dan Ibu yang ada di sana sudah bergabung secara online dengan kami di Magelang sini. Barangkali bisa mempersiapkan diri, kita akan coba abadikan momentum kita hari ini dengan berfoto bersama, baik secara langsung maupun secara virtual. Baik, untuk Bapak dan Ibu yang ada di Magelang, monggo kita persiapkan diri untuk berfoto bersama. Ya, boleh minta izin untuk dibuka maskernya terlebih dahulu. Dan memposisikan diri, pun juga dengan Bapak Ibu yang ada secara online bersama kami. Baik, kita akan hitung dalam hitungan ketiga bersama-sama untuk bisa berpose dengan pose terbaik. 3, 2, 1. Baik, sekali lagi kami akan coba abadikan untuk rekan-rekan Bapak dan Ibu yang sudah bergabung secara online dan maupun yang offline. Kita coba foto bersama. 3, 2, 1. Iya, kita coba Prof. Ismail masih join di sini. Kita akan coba berfoto juga bersama dengan Prof. Ismail. Oke, Prof. Ismail, can you please make some pose? Because we will collect our picture together. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What can I do?
3. Please make some pose.
Yeah.
You can pose to your camera because we will collect this picture together. Thank you. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go. Cheese. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prof. Ismail. Oke, terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu semuanya yang sudah bergabung bersama kami baik secara online maupun offline. Kami ingatkan sekali lagi untuk nanti penutupan Rakornas akan dilaksanakan pukul 19 waktu Indonesia Barat. Dan kami harapkan Bapak Ibu baik secara offline maupun online dapat bergabung bersama kami. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.